In with people. Yeah, it's quite late today. I can only stream briefly. But I thought I'd make sure I checked in with people so people know what's going on. I've spent a good portion of this week rebalancing Uber creatures, trying to find a sweet spot for them. So the Ubers have undergone a significant nerf. I shall try and detail in the patch notes, although the nerfs are so sweeping, I might just have to put the headline sort of things in. But essentially, I'll show you, for example, I've reworked the Uber Praying Mantis to be a major killer, so it should do very well against leafcutter mages. So this is fighting 50 of them. So you see the mages really aren't doing a particularly good job of dealing with it. And I'll show you the same fight again versus the same amount of it's creeping. Same cash amount of black ants. So black ants are worth a third of mages, so we need 150 to be the same cash. Oh, no, don't. Oh dear. Oops. Let's try that again. Nerf mantis. I accidentally spawned a mantis in there. This is the Uber mantis, so it's so black ants should do a lot better against it than the leafcutter mages did. Oh, damn it! I forgot I did that. Okay, hang on 1 second. I've been toying with the pickup stuff. I've still got more to do, but yeah, I was testing something out. Right, so who we got? Chase, StarCraft 2, I'm assuming that's what that is. Chase, SC2, and the Crazed Scientist. Good to have you with us. Okay. So what I've tried to do with the Ubers now is make them particularly strong against a specific enemy type. So for example, the Uber Mantis is strong against leafcutter mages, but should be terrible against black ants. Should be, but they don't actually seem to be doing any damage to it. Oh no, they are. They're getting there. And what I've done with the... Aha! We're making StarCraft 3. So yeah, as you see, the black ants have pretty much nailed the mantis in this situation. And the way I've approached the mantis here is I've given it a very strong single target attack. It's one of the highest damages in the game, so it kills any unit in the game in one hit. However, I've removed their AoE, so they can't deal with large armies very easily. And I've also given them a maximum damage they can take each hit. There's no one playing Warcraft 3. Okay, so yeah, that's the mantis. I'll also show the whip spider. Now, this one I've designed to be strong against wood ants. And the way I've done this is I've given it, I think it's 125 wood ants is the same value as 150 black ants. Oh yeah, there's a problem with its movement. It's quite funny. It just floats. So if I do... $125 mortars. So its snap attack should be doing a huge amount of damage to wood ants. Wood ants don't have a particularly high health. So yeah, it got through those with relative ease. Now, I think other things like black ants should nail it. So if I do the same amount of black ants, so 150 black ants versus one of these whip spiders. Right, half nerd. You're right, expert archer. Good to have you back. Yeah, too soon. Warcraft 3 feels bad, man. Yeah. Didn't get those fancy cinematics we were promised. So, black ants should do pretty well against it. I love the size of the pushback. I've still been streaming on Fridays. Whew. It looks like the Uber might win this one. I'm not sure. It's going to be close. They're definitely doing better than the wood ants did. Oh, black ants might win. Go on, get it, get it. Yeah, there we go. It was close, but... Right, Jack of the Jacket. Let's have you with us. I'm going over some of the changes I've made to Ubers at the minute. So yeah, the whip spider is targeted to take down wood ants. Now, one that's targeted at black ants is the spiny devil. 2, 3, 4, 5. A little known feature of the game is that if you hold your mouse down on the spawn button in the battle arena for 5 seconds, it will spawn Ubers of that creature instead. It's got to be the large versions of those creatures, apart from the whip spider, which is the large versions of them, the largest versions. Uber trapdoors. Some of those black ants didn't have stun visuals. It's possible, yeah, because they've only one visual thing can be seen on a creature at a time. So it might be that the order in which they were applied meant the bleed effect was on them instead. It will basically only display one status effect over the top of a creature at a time, even if there are 2 are applied. When making a new Uber from a medium creature, does the Uber show as a medium size? You can. There's only large versions of the Ubers. There's not. Ubers only have one difficulty. You can't just make any creature an Uber. They are actually designed. Their abilities are tweaked, which is what I've been doing a lot of this week. So these should nail black ants. Black ants really shouldn't stand a chance against them. I was having a look at some yeah. So I was having a look at some of the creatures' stats and like running checks on them to see to see which creatures get the most value. And by some way, it's the mages. I did a calculation which was basically how much damage they would deal before they die if they were taking 10 damage a second. And mages do something like 6 times the amount that black ants do. It's quite incredible. Okay, so however, these should be absolutely destroyed by wood ants, for example. I don't think I don't think it'll do very well against wood ants. So, same amount of cash worth of wood ants. We're on one of them. 2, 3, 4, 5. There we are. I can't remember what this thing's weak point is though. It might be it might do better against we're currently trying to optimize this oh yeah, they absolutely destroyed it. I think it should kill some of them because it got its AoE off on some of them, but I don't know. Maybe not. And Leafcutter Mages as well, I imagine, will nail that. Jumping Spider. Jumping Spider is meant to be really strong against wood ants. The idea is it jumps into them and nails them. I've been tweaking stats to target specific creatures. It should do a jump every 4 seconds, and after the jump it should do an attack which does a specific amount of damage, which should kill a level 3 wood ant. It looks like the attack and the jump are now out of sync. Oh. Yeah, there we are. Let's come back to chat for a minute. I like jumping spiders. What's making Uber from a medium creature? Does it show as a medium size? I basically decide the size of the creatures. So, however, a jumping spider should do fairly terribly against black ants or leafcutter mages now. So that's 150 black ants, 1 jumping spider. Okay, so this week as well, we implemented a change on the the ones that are good against jumping spiders have got really high venom resistance, so they will take a lot less damage from the wood ants. Well, it's going to be close, this one, actually. I think the Ubers won this one. Fair play. Try it again. Try it against some mages. So 50 mages. I don't think it'll even dent these, you know. I want to report sometimes a group of ants gets stuck in attack animation. Is that related to funnel webs or things picking them up? So have you noticed that tends to be around situations where there'll be a creature that can pick it up, so a beach wolf spider or a praying mantis, or funnel web spider. Because I think there is an issue at the minute with things basically killing their attack, their picker upper. I thought I'd addressed it, but maybe I only addressed it in one situation. Yeah, it would be good to see a recording of it. Yeah, so here the mage has completely ruined it. I'll take a look at that later. Thanks for the link. I'm not gonna open a YouTube video whilst on stream. It's Too dangerous. Some people get banned for that. But yeah, thanks for the link. Okay, yeah, so what else? So regarding projectiles, regarding area of effect attacks in the game, a few of them have been changed to be to have drop off. So at the central point of the attack, you do full damage, and at the outer area of the attack, you do 0 damage. So basically, it drops off linearly. I'll show you an example. It's something I actually thought was already in the game, but I went through the code reading it properly, and it turns out I'd overridden it. So I've put it back into the code, but I'll show you it. I've got a test map somewhere. It's called Aoe tests. Radial damage tests. There it is. I'm glad you like the game. Dead jumping spider targeted. Very odd. Okay, right, so it's just kind of showcasing the AoE change. If I spawn just one level 3 mortar, so it'll be a bit of a nerf for AoE damage, but if you look at the health, it's dropping much more at the center of the attack. Made the answering one with the Queen. I've also applied that to the Uber's basic attack, so and as part of the Uber rebalance, so Ubers aren't as strong against black ants anymore. Although some of them I have designed to specifically damage black ants. So yeah. You need to get to know your Ubers now and know what type of creature to attack them with. However, I balanced them all in a way that it's possible to deal with any Uber, if you've got enough resources. So it's no longer an Uber spawns, the game's over. And that was kind of my aim with it, but in doing so, I've also addressed some of the issues with Ubers in that they didn't necessarily they were just kind of strong creatures. Now they've got now they're strong against specific targets. Okay, I'm going to have a look at the source control, and we're going to be we're going to go through what's happened since last week's patch. I'll have a chat to you about it. So when did I release the patch? Was it Saturday or Sunday? I think it was Saturday, and then there was an emergency fix on Sunday for some horrific issue. Or was it Friday, emergency fix on Saturday? So it would be the 1st anyway, roughly the 1st. So let's have a look at changes since the 1st. Okay. Okay, so there's a fix for praying mantises not attacking. So at the minute, in the current build of the game, a praying mantis will run past creatures a lot of the time and not attack them, which wasn't what was intended. So there's a fix coming for that. Projectiles have been optimized a bit more. They're still not perfect. And Matt today is working on more of the projectile stuff. We're actually looking also at making a more drastic step with projectiles. So rapid fire ants, we're considering removing projectiles altogether. So instead, you'll just see them shoot, and you'll see a connection, a hit connect. So basically, there's no travel time. They'll be instant, so they can't miss for a start. Rapid fire mortars will still be able to miss, but rapid fire won't be able to. But you won't see a projectile, and basically that will mean that should allow us to have a larger amount of rapid fire ants firing at the same time. But there's further things we can do to optimize them. And we'll be looking into that. Okay, so that's the radial damage fall off now being handled properly. That's what I was talking about earlier with the AoEs being handled properly in certain situations. Further optimizations of projectiles. There's been a lot of work on projectiles this week. I fixed an issue with the mini map. I fixed an issue where the where they were trying to you won't know. That wouldn't have affected you guys, so it's pointless going over that. Basic wood amp projectile. This is Liam working more on the projectiles. So, like I say, a lot of work's going to projectiles at the minute. Fixed an issue where your ants will appear as red on the mini map if Fog of War was on. Fixed an issue. Done some painting in the Crucible mini map to blend in some of the tiles a bit better. This is me again with the projectiles and the damage fall off, making it be a choice rather than had to be on. Oh, and I've applied it to whip spiders as well. So whip spiders have a damage fall off in their AoE. Pick of Death. So a tracer damage for rapid fire and projectile damage for mortar. So that's please don't fix bugs, there'll be no gameplay. Yeah, that's what we're talking about is having an instant connection with rapid fire. I think it makes sense, but also rapid fire ants produce 5 times the amount of projectiles that a mortar does. So performance wise it makes sense as well, because we've currently got a performance issue definitely with the projectiles. I think it's the particle effects mostly on the projectiles that are causing the issue, but we can trim a lot of it out by making them instantly connect, and also work a bit more on the particles. Damage fall off can now be set on an ability. Yeah, that's me talking about that. Matt's been working more to deal with the flashing. He's done a few more tweaks, but I don't know whether it will actually be fully solved. He says mitigate / alleviate the flashing, so we'll see. More work on projectiles. More work on projectiles. This is me rebalancing the Ubers. So the Uber Hermit Crab and the Beach Tiger Beetle and the Devil's Coach Horse, they were rebalanced, not specifically to target anything, just rebalanced to a level where black ants could deal with them. And I've also introduced a new stat called Aoe Resistance. What Aoe Resistance does is if the attack has come from an AoE and the ant is not at the epicenter of the AoE, then it reduces the damage of the attack by 1%. At the minute, it's only on black ants and it's only at 20%. My intention is to use it in the fire ants as well to allow fire ants to survive AoE slightly better. Maybe you'll be able to. Maybe it'll be one of their upgrades is being able to spec into AoE survival. Does AoE Resistance also protect against AoE effects? It reduces the damage of AoE effects. So it specifically a damage over time. A bleed or a poison effect the damage will be reduced. But again, only if you're not at the epicenter of the attack. If you're at the epicenter of the attack, it does full damage. So I think I get within 10 of the center of the attack. So it's quite a small radius when you consider an ant is about 30 pixels. So the epicenter should only affect 1 or 2 ants at most if they're bunched up next to each other. Tweaked projectile impacts smoke size apparently. That's just Liam playing with the projectiles. Removed. A warning. Black ants now have. Okay, so yeah, this is more about black ants and more about rebalancing Ubers. Fixed a bug where swarm creatures that were meant to be removed are being eaten. Fixed a bug when a swarm creature was eaten, it wasn't disappearing. So I'll fix that one. Corrected issues on whip spider animation blueprint that could lead to a warning or a crash. Fixed a bug causing minimaps requests not exist in the game. I'm not sure what that is. It's me that submitted it. Fixed a bug causing Oh, yeah. It was just a warning thing that was coming up. I remember. Rebalanced Uber beach wolf spiders to be strong against both leafcutter mages and mortar ants. Okay, so beach wolf spiders strong against mortars as well. Battle Arena now removes creatures that only if they're not in combat, so you won't get them accidentally running out, getting removed. More work on Ubers, rebalancing. I've gone through all this. Rebalancing Ubers. Rebalancing Ubers. Fixed a problem where Projectiles particle system would hang around in the camera. So yeah, there was a issue with particles. Particle generation that would cause, if you weren't looking at the particles, they wouldn't be deleted properly. So there was a situation where if you were off somewhere else and your shooting was taking place over somewhere else, these particle effects could build up and build up. So that's how to fix it. I'm coming back to chat. One sec. Slug Disco, will this game come to consoles as well, or is it PC exclusive? All I'm going to say is that we haven't made a decision on consoles yet. Until we finish the game, it will be PC exclusive because we haven't got the manpower to early access release it on console. So don't expect it until full release on PC, and then we'll come back and revisit it at that point. we'll make a decision at that point. Fixed a problem where, there was also an issue with particle effects flying off to the bottom right that's been fixed. It was an issue someone else pointed out a long time ago, but apparently a different particle effect was causing it as well. So we've addressed that. So this week has been heavily involved in particle effects, projectiles, and Uber rebalancing. So hopefully the Uber rebalance should further improve Freeplay. I know at the moment some people are reporting that they're doing quite fine leading up to the objective, like if they've got an objective set, and then as they get close to the objective, they get hit by a couple of Ubers and they just get wiped out. Hopefully this will cause the fights with the Ubers to be exciting fights rather than just leading to your doom instantly. Fingers crossed. The general health of Ubers has been reduced. The AoE damage of Ubers has been reduced. General damage of Ubers has been reduced a bit. So there's been quite a few heavy nerfs hitting Ubers to make them a more interesting fight and make it so you can defeat them if you're not playing Formica Raptor. You'll still have the best chance of defeating them as Formica Raptor because you'll have the most variety, but you should now be able to challenge yourself playing Black Ants and not lead an Uber won't mean the end of the game. So yeah, look for a patch coming over the weekend which will bring these changes in. I'm looking to reintroduce the campaign very soon. I haven't made any balance changes to campaign units. Not many. There's only been a couple. So there's the mortars that have been nerfed because of their AoE radius drop-off being applied. There should be some performance improvements with the projectiles. Yeah, story, sorry. The button says story now. So, the only thing I'm worried about with the story at the minute is the bridge coming down in Formicarium Challenge 2. I need to run some tests with that, see if it works. Liam's fixed the 3.1, the harvest. There was issues with the pathing in that the ants needed to take certain routes. Like the enemy colony needs to take certain routes and avoid walking weird places. But he's fixed that now apparently. I'll be looking at that, and when we reintroduce the story mode on open beta, it says story mode instead of Formicarium. Will that be removed? It's gonna maintain saying story. We made that decision because there's been multiple cases where people haven't found Formicarium, haven't found the campaign. I think story is more descriptive than Formicarium. It was between story and campaign. We were debating for a while, but I think we preferred story in the end. Story mode. So yeah, I'm gonna try and get the story reintroduced, and with it will come challenge modes for 3.1 and 3.2. So they'll need testing. So yeah, that'll be reintroduced in the open beta, and then if that goes fine, after a final bug pass this week, maybe next week we can actually release it to the general public. it's been a long ride trying to get this movement code updated. It is hard, yeah. Challenge 3 is... I know it's hard. There is difficulty settings on it for that reason. It's not too bad on easy, but on normal it's quite difficult, and then on hard it's really difficult, and insane it's just stupid. Oh, that's another thing that's coming with it, actually, is difficulty settings for the Formicarian challenges 1 and 2. So you might want to give those 2 levels a go again. Because I've introduced difficulty settings on those as well. Forgot I did that. I believe it increases the size of the attack waves that come in. Don't think it does much else. Maybe it changes food drop amounts. Well, maybe try putting the difficulty up a notch on challenge 2 then. Okay. It's only been a short stream today. I'm sorry about that. I'll see if I can stream over the weekend. Maybe we can stream some testing of the Formicarium. And we'll discuss of the challenge modes as well, and we can discuss the balance on the challenge modes. So yeah, follow me, and hopefully you'll catch that bonus stream. So yeah, I'm gonna have to leave it there for today. Hopefully that's been a good roundup of what's been happening this week. I'll be back. I'll be back in the normal slot next week, and we can. I'll really try and get on sooner. And hopefully over the weekend I can find some time to stream. Yeah, thanks very much. Thanks, Smiles 2019. And we shall keep working on it. So yeah, thanks very much, and I will see you over the weekend, hopefully. Ta-ra.